Throughout the entire series of Alien movies, including its prequels, one of the most interesting parts of the Xenomorphs' origins is the involvement of the engineers, or space jockeys as they were formerly known as. When the crew of the Nostromo discover the engineer inside the chairsuit of the derelict, a hole from a chestburster is visible on the creature, indicating it was impregnated and birthed an alien. But over the course of the whole saga, we have never truly seen an actual representation of what a xenomorph spawned from an engineer would look like. Which begs the question, what does an alien born from a space jockey actually look like? The closest we've ever seen was the Deacon from Prometheus. While not a true Xenomorph XX121, the Deacon was a Xenomorph-like creature which was a product of the Black Goo. Holloway was infected with the Black Goo by David. He then procreated with Shaw, growing a Trilobite inside her. When removed, it survived decontamination and grew to full size, then attacked the last engineer, creating the Deacon. The Deacon was around the size of a human-born xenomorph at the time of birth, suggesting it would grow much larger than a traditional xenomorph. We didn't see this unfortunately, but what we did see was that it had a bluish-black coloration, no tail or biomechanical features, and had a sharp point at the back of its head to allow it to break out of the engineer's body. In the urn room of the engineer base on LV-223, there was a mural of what looked to be a Deacon on a wall above the vials of pathogen. Is this a Deacon, or could it be an engineer xenomorph? A cut idea from an earlier draft of the script for Prometheus, which even has some concept art, is the Ultramorph. Originally, the film was to feature a facehugger which would impregnate the engineer, resulting in the Ultramorph, which resembled a kind of ancient, more primitive descendant of the Xenomorph XX121. It would have been even bigger than the engineer when grown, and would chase Elizabeth Shaw, then named Jocelyn Watts in the script, as she makes her way with David's head to the Juggernaut. Elements of its design were carried forward into the design for the Neomorph in the next film, Alien Covenant. In the comic book Aliens Apocalypse, an awoken space jockey of a design prior to Prometheus is attacked by a facehugger, spawning the Destroyer, as it is known as. The Destroyer Xenomorph resembles a normal human Xenomorph, only much larger with a grey colour palette. It was aggressive towards everything, including other Xenomorphs. My favourite though would have to be the Space Jockey Xenomorph from the Nintendo DS game Aliens Infestation. This design also predates Prometheus, with the creature adopting a trunk-like organ pre-Prometheus space jockeys would have. It is also the alien born from the first movie Space Jockey. It has a brown colour and is massive in size, and appeared as a boss towards the end half of the game. I do find it interesting how older media that was made before Prometheus always used to interpret the hose coming from the space jockey's face to be an organic trunk, whereas in Prometheus it was actually revealed to be part of the engineer's suit, and described as serving the same function as an air hose on the mask of a fighter pilot. Definitely not what most people were expecting. And not quite an exact engineer xenomorph, but another very close example, and the latest we've seen, was the offspring creature from Alien Romulus. This was created when Kay injected herself with a strain of the Black Goo known as Prometheus fire, which turned her baby she was pregnant with into a half-engineer, half-xenomorph. If you were wondering why a half-engineer creature would come from a human, humans are made from engineered DNA, so when human DNA is broken down by the Black Goo, it results in an engineer-based creature. Someday I would like to see a fully realised engineer xenomorph in movie canon. I'd say what I'd like to see would be basically what they were going to do with the Ultramorph for Prometheus, as I think that's what one would most likely look like. But if we're talking purely aesthetics and creativity, I would say the boss from the DS game is my favourite, as I do like that design, and I have fond memories from playing that game. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Do you want to see an engineer alien in a movie, or would you like to see something different? Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed what you just saw, and I'll catch you guys next time.